Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Lasham Daily Briefing for Saturday, 12th of October, 2024. So, the synoptic situation then, this was as of midnight last night. Uh, this occlusion is now drifting down to the south and has been replaced by this cold front, actually. There's a very, very small influence from this high pressure, but nothing significant. If we run that through to 12 o'clock today, you'll see there are two cold fronts. They're quite weakening affairs, actually, but they are cold fronts nonetheless, passing through the country from the northwest to the southeast. We've still got some hangover from this occluded front, which is over the English Channel at the moment with cloud. And it's going to leave us in a moist southwesterly type airflow once this cold front has gone through. It's sort of southeasterly at the moment, but this front's rapidly approaching, and then we're going to be left in a southwesterly flow after that. Windy gives a really good example of that, actually. So here's the wind at the moment, southeast. If I just run that through to 1 o'clock, you can see it's rapidly gone round to the southwest. So I think when we set up today, we will be on runway 23 because that's where it's going to be broadly. In fact, if I think, oh, right, if I go around to about 4 o'clock, it might even be totally west. You see that quite an interesting change of the wind today that Windy depicts really, really nicely. Spot winds are indicating westerly to the north and southwesterly to the south. We're sort of stuck in the middle, really. Going to be about, we'll set up on 2-3 anyway. So cloud-wise, if I just run this through. So we got this cloud down over the south of the country, which is a hangover from that occluded front. We got a cold front here, which is the first one that's going to hit us in about half an hour's time. And then the other cold front is over Ireland. So we will have a reasonable a batch of weather, albeit overcast, in between where we should be reasonably rain-free, I would suggest. No doubt the gods will tell us otherwise. And we've got a lot of conflicting reports today on the weather, so we'll try and make the most out of the data we've got, and then look out the window and make a final decision. Okay, so rain then. So this is the rain, obviously associated with that occlusion down on the south. This line here is the cold front that's due to hit us. What time is this saying now? This at 8:55. So around about now, this cold front is about to hit us, or certainly the next half hour or so. And then we have a reasonably clear spot before the next cold front, which is out over Ireland, then starts to have some effect. But they are weakening affairs, but I think there might just be a little bit of rain on them. The Met predicted forecast for rain is similar as you'd expect. So that's just gone by half an hour ago. That first weakening cold front is this little affair here, I think, and that's going to pass, maybe just fizzle out actually before it reaches us. And that's saying now that it's going to be after 12 o'clock, which is pretty well what the synoptic says, but it's fizzling away quite a lot. There might not be too much rain on that. Okay, and I'm locking up, so hopefully it'll carry on in a second. Okay, so local forecasts, actually, this is where I get the conflicts of interest because the local forecast is saying rain all day up until 2 o'clock. BBC is saying it's not going to be quite as bad, and there's a great conflict. We definitely need to look out the window and make the most of it. So they're indicating overcast and rain pretty well all morning. Wind southeasterly now, as I mentioned earlier, going around to southwest, and later on in the day due west. But for our operating window today, we're going to be probably on the southwesterly run. And GFS is giving us a max temperature today of only 14 degrees with a dew point down at 11. So there's not a very large split there. View outside the window. So this was 5 minutes ago. You can see quite a mix of layers of cloud. So if I refresh that quickly, it's thickening up slightly. And the wind is nicely down 2-3 at the moment. Okay, local weather station is giving us at the moment 9.3 degrees, 6.4 dew point. And the wind, it's saying east southeasterly, but they've gone a little bit more around to the west now. And you see the temperature slowly increasing. Okay, then. So Odium. Let's see if we can get a refresh here. No. So Odium, 9 knots from the east southeast currently. Their TAF is not usable at weekends. And if you go to Farnborough, 5 knots from the east southeast at the moment. But if you run through the TAF, let's say from 9 o'clock till 12 o'clock today, 10 knots from the southwest. Temporarily between 11 o'clock and 4 o'clock today, broken cloud at 1,200 feet, rain and rain showers with a 30% probability between 11 o'clock and 4 o'clock today. 4K viz, broken clouds at 900 feet, heavy rain or showers, becoming from 1 o'clock onwards, wind 10 knots from the west. So they're right bag. They can't agree at all on the timings of the wind or the rain. So let's carry on though. So this is the significant weather for our part of the country now. So this is 1 o'clock today. And you see where we are. We've got this clearance. This is that cold front, I believe. So we've got an area of opportunity before that cold front. And what this is indicating really is lowering cloud to less than 2,000 feet, but with some drizzle on it, no more than that. And then some clearances afterwards, and that's perhaps when the wind's going to go around to the west. So this is at 4 o'clock this afternoon, so it's pretty well right on the edge of the good and the bad weather. Okay, sky sight is not optimistic at all today. It's giving us a low cloud base all day. No soaring clearly, and the winds they start in southeast, go through to southwest, and then end up on westerly throughout the day. So at least the winds sort of agree in that respect. But I think our operating window today, as I mentioned earlier, are going to be on runway 23. No TAMs today. Usual culprits, if I just run through 4 or 5 local ones. 19 is Barton Stacey with the live firing. 24 is Lark Hill. So the Lark Hill danger area 125 is active today, surface to 23,000 feet. 25 is the Ash Ranges are active today, surface to only to 850 feet. 26 the Uphaven telephone change. 27 is fireworks tonight at White Waltham, and 31 is Otmore. So let's run through, start off with the cross section. So the cross section is showing this thick cloud layers all the way up to 18,000 feet throughout the morning, clearing slowly. Cloud base 1,000 foot from about 10 onwards. It might be a little bit higher than that because we've got the lower dregs here, but the mean cloud base is going to be about 1,600 feet. So we'll be okay for winch launching certainly fairly early on. They're indicating the winds southerly becoming westerly as the day goes through. They've got strong wind warning. That strong wind warnings for after 5 o'clock today. And they're talking about westerly with gusts of 25 knots later on. So no movements reported today. We've got moist south-southwesterly airflow over the area, turning west later. A weak cold front is passing through around 11, and I think we're going to be lucky enough not get rain on that weak cold front. It might be a little bit of so I've written possible rain or drizzle on and off throughout the day. Southern end of the airfield is very wet, but we are going to set up on runway 23. And as of yesterday, please be careful with the wheel brake when you're landing on the grass, especially in the K21s. So we've got 3K21s and 3K13s available all day. 778 is a fourth Serswell K21, which is going to the workshop very shortly to have the wheel brake sorted out. It failed at the end of the day yesterday, but that will be a fourth K21, and they may be able to work wonders on that and get that out earlier. I'm not quite sure yet. So 1K21 is on the booking system with Dave Williams. Uh, one K21 and a K13 for the youth group from 1 o'clock onwards, and a K21 and a K13 for the casual list. We've got 2 volunteer instructors today, Tim Graham and Chris Marin, and we've got a lot of people on that list, so we'll try and keep them busy. And some single-seater availability. 3 gliders at Arboyne, first week they've just had now, so 2 more weeks to go. Still places on the third week. Watch out for misting canopies at the beginning of the day, the end of the day, please. And remind about the buggies, and simulator is available. So if you look at the flying list today, Dave Williams has got a K21. Dave, if you're listening, I know you probably are. Shehan Goa has cancelled. She's gone to hospital. So you've got a student in the morning, student in the afternoon. Other gliders were at Arboyne. Imperial College are here today, and I didn't mention on the previous slide, but they'll be around and they'll be using their twin acro and a K-13. Youth flying 1 o'clock onwards. If the gliders aren't out for them, they're going to have to get their own gliders out. Uh, and I've cancelled the trial flights because of the weather. And the K-21 and a K-13 on the casual list all day. And you can see we've got quite a few people down on the casual list. So set up then, we're going to end it set up on runway 23. There might be a little bit more south to the wind just at the moment. By the time we get this kit out, it's going to be around pretty well on 23. Usual setup, we'll be bringing the cables up the side of the runway using the spreader bar. Any air tows will be to the west. Landing grass, east and west, not a problem there. The grass is all good up until about the last third of the airfield. And I put the Elliott puddle down the bottom. It's not a puddle at the moment. It's just very, very wet. And you won't get stuck there, but it'll be very uncomfortable. Okay, so I think we are going to struggle with the day, but we do have people that want to fly. So let's get out and make it happen and try and make it happen safely. See you out there shortly. Bye.